Hey, what is up? What is up, YouTube gaming family? It is IK right here, back at it with another video for y'all today. Alright, let's get right into it. Huge big shout out to this YouTuber, Relax Dirk. Please go subscribe to him, good YouTuber. He actually made a mod, for Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Not too sure what he's really doing with this old game, but in today's video, we're really going to be talking about MK Shaolin Monks for all you Mortal Kombat fans out there. And be sure to hit the like button and do what y'all have to do for this particular manner and support the video. So, yeah, shout out to this YouTuber because what's basically going to end up happening, hopefully, according to this YouTuber that I have been watching his content for a little bit now, he's making a particular modding structure where I guess Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks will have new characters being put into the game, and I guess he's doing his part to kind of like mod into it to develop, which I have to give a lot of respect and credit to this particular YouTuber. Not too entirely sure how that actually works because, see, like the thing about Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, for those of you that don't know, this game is a very good game. And for today's video, I'm going to be making the case that why Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks 2 should come, because this is literally one of the best games to play in terms of like a good competitive arcade adventure type of game. Granted, this game was not like, how should I say, it wasn't like hyper level standard traditional 1v1 Mortal Kombat, like, if you're gonna play online up against somebody and like, you have to test yourself online, which I think honestly, if they had like a 1v1 structure of like you doing like the gameplay that you see right now between Ermac and Sub-Zero, but it's basically open world. So the good thing about it is that you can kind of basically do whatever you want to your character. Hold on, let me pause this. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, basically what you can do is that you can kind of take something out of your character and utilize a particular, like, how should I say, you can use the environment as your weapon, and you can force your enemy to kind of be smart with like how they're prioritizing their moves up against you, because like, yeah, because like in the traditional Mortal Kombat scene, more like pretty much like your typical Mortal Kombat game is just you and the other character, and you just stay in one stage. I think with Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, this game is actually like a pure definition of a good hyper technical game. What I really enjoyed out of this game was that the combat system was pretty decent. The storyline was really fun. The abilities for every character that you were able to play was actually pretty fun. I kind of wish that there were more characters in this game, simply because you had so many abilities that you can go about utilizing for every character. You can bring in Noob Saibot, you can bring in Shao Kahn, you can bring in Reiko, you can bring in Tremor, Hotaru. I mean, honestly, like, in my honest opinion, if a Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks 2 game ever releases in the future, which, that'll probably take ages from now, but let's just say like, let's just say in retrospect, it actually were to come back, and it was like remastered, but it was like more characters, but it just expanded on the new era timeline. That would be so cool because, the thing is like, you have so many stories that you can go about, expanding upon different characters' lore. You can talk more about Kenshi, you could talk more about Shijinko, you could talk more about, let's just say, Taven, Dagon, or maybe go into new characters like Forest Fox, or maybe Hydro. I mean, there's so many characters that you can easily bring into the story, that there's plenty of good ideas that you can go about doing. And I just don't understand why NRS would not do that, because Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks is a really fun game, and you have like really good ideas that you can bring into this story. Um, the good thing about gameplay wise was that the fatalities and the mortalities and the brutalities. I think that was super fun. What I kind of wish that this game probably had was kind of like make it into a rewarding system where like anytime that you get into like brutality kill streaks, you know, your character gets stronger, and then you have like a like I don't know, you can kind of have, you know, like a rage meter where like, you know, if you get stronger, you know, you start defeating enemies a lot faster. So I think that's something that would be pretty cool, instead of having to fill up like a, you know, like a blood meter to say, okay, you have like enough blood meter to get your fatality, when you should just do it like on the spot. Like, you know, kind of make it simple and quick. You don't have to go through like a whole cutscene just to see like your character like perform a fatality. I mean, you know, if the fatality is like right, like honestly, if you're gonna do like a fatality, it should be like Kratos like, you know, level executions in God of War, where like once Kratos is like about to kill somebody, like it actually just shows like the actual death, you know, right there on the spot, but it kind of just animates it really fast. So I mean, that's just my personal like opinion. I just think that's a better idea. It kind of gets more people into the game, but it's like, you know, it's more counteractive. It's more hyper engaging. So I think that's something that the game would actually benefit a lot if you had something in you know, if you had something in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks 2 for them to like give you the ability to kind of like, you know, do whatever you want to do, but you could actually like explore the maps and also, you know, use more environmental weapons to kind of make yourself more versatile. I think weapon combat was pretty good in this game. It could have been a little bit better if they kind of. Hold on, let me pause. All right, I'm back. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I stated that I think weapon combat was pretty good. What they could have done a little bit better with is probably maybe have like different weapons. You could have like katana blades, where like you could hone like two swords, or if you want to hone like axes or hammers, kind of like what Shao Kahn has. That would be dope. You could do like, I don't know, like nunchucks, or let's just say, you know, like dragon fangs. Like I don't know, like there's so many things that you could go about doing that, but it's like I don't understand why NRS would not do that for the first game. I mean, this game did a pretty good job with giving you a whole different mess of particular weapons. It wasn't like the almighty greatest, but it was good enough for you to like have fun. So I don't know, I think like, in my honest opinion, if we really want to see like something of which, you know, this game can give us like a greater benefit for what we need, then I would like to see this game give us a much more expansive option of like many different I should say many different ways to kind of like use weapons however we want, but we could also morph our own weapons with our own characters, if you know what I'm saying. Like, let's just say with Sub Zero, like he can have his own weapon, that being with the Corey blade, where he has his ice sword. But then if you want to like mix other weapons with his blades, that'd be pretty cool. And then you can kind of get like power ups and stuff like that. If you have like certain elements that are connected with your character. So like if Noob Saibot, if he's like a dark energy character, you can have like dark energy buff for certain weapons that are like on the battlefield. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, that's just how I would see it. I think it's a really good idea in my honest opinion. But that's just how I would like to see it in terms of like what I could, like, you know, what I could see. Um if they actually end up making a game of that caliber, they would just have to make it like, you know, make it competitive, make it fun, where you can like do whatever you want, and you can check like basically you can just go about, you know, giving players the ability to kind of like like be more versatile with any character that they use. I think like the good thing about MK1 is that, well, I mean, as far as like MK Shaolin Monks, I'm sorry. This game did a really good job with giving you tough enemies, and you actually had fun. Like, you actually beat the living crap out of people. But I kind of wish that you actually had more help. I kind of feel like that this game was a little bit difficult for you to by yourself. So you had to like, do everything by yourself, and you had to be really good on your defense in order to like beat the enemies. So, I mean, hard wasn't really difficult, but it was just like, it was just like annoying if you know what I'm saying. Like the game had faults because that the game just wasn't. I should say that the game just wasn't proactive with like how you were able to kind of like fight, fight like a 1v5 or 1v6. I mean, it made it competitive, it made it fun, but it's just like if you had like that little AI bot to kind of help you, where you had like, let's just say Liu Kang or Kung Lao help you, and you don't have to worry about too many enemies, like I wouldn't mind that. Even if you had like very hard difficulty, it still would be fun. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be difficult for you to kind of like do it all by yourself, and then you have to go through like all this dumb crap of like you dealing with like enemies that are trying to like hyper spam certain combos. So, I mean, that's just my personal like opinion. But if they actually do that, for the next Mortal Kombat game, where you're able to have like kind of like a little AI squad of like of different characters that help you, and then you just have to worry about like your HP. You got to be smart with like certain enemies that you fight. Just make it arcadish, but make it competitive. I think that's the one thing that they should do. I would like to see like the tournament. I would like to see like a tournament mode be added to this game. So like, don't you know how in like Dragon Ball Z, like let's just say Budokai 3 or Budokai 1 or 2, you had like tournament mode for like all your favorite characters that you liked. If Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks did something like that, where you can kind of like make it competitive, where you could like play online with friends or play competitively, that would be pretty fun. Um, you could do like 2v2 tournament mode with using one player. Hold on, let me pause this. I hate this. All right, I'm back. So yeah, based off of what I stated, like you could do 2v2 tournament mode. You can do 1v1 tournament mode. There's so many things that you can go about doing. So I think MK Shadow Bucks 2 would be really good if we had a tournament mode to like give ourselves, a challenge with certain characters that we like to use. So if we had something like that, especially in like an open world, like fighting stage type of game, which is third person, that'd be pretty fun. Um, I like to say for the storyline, what could be a lot better for the storyline is go into the new era. Um, don't do like the timeline nonsense with like Liu Kang with MK1. I would just say like go into a whole different timeline where Shao Kahn ends up like killing Raiden. Where let's just say it goes into Armageddon, but what you do is like you're basically fighting up against Shao Kahn's army, and then let's just say like you know how should I say, let's just say Taven or and Dagon, they give you two options for you to like take a side within the game. And what this side of the game would be is like, you have to either follow the side of good or follow the side of evil. And your characters will have different storylines of like how they go. So let's just say if you're Sub Zero and you want to go good or evil, what you could go about doing is that you could end up taking the path of being good, but you're two different. Like basically, every character has a story to kind of like go about their own path, but like nothing is guaranteed with how the character story goes. So every outcome is different for every other character. So let's just say if you go on the path of being good, then you can like expect good outcomes, but some bad outcomes can come about with your with your actual like characters that you use. So if you go within a good path of being a good character, like let's just say like I don't know, Bihan, if he's a good character, and let's just say Smoke, he was once a good character, but now he's a bad character, and he ends up becoming, I don't know, like the more worser version of a noob Saibot, but more dangerous. Then that'll basically reflect in the story for you to be like more I should say you have to like think about your decisions of like how you go about trusting certain characters and how that the whole storyline goes. I think like if something like that was in the game, that'd be really fun. I think like let's just say if Kung Lao, if he wasn't a good character and he ended up being evil, that would be pretty cool. That would kind of show like what characters are gonna turn good and gonna turn evil, and it should all be reflected off of the Armageddon storyline, and like like basically you go off of different paths of like where you can take like the storyline, and then let's just say kind of have it similar to like DBZ Spark of Zero, where you could have like custom modded storylines where every character is like totally different with with their own storyline. So personally, I would like that because that would give fans the incentive to like play Mortal Kombat more, but you could like make your own little worldview of like how the storyline can be. So I personally like that. I think it's a really good idea. There's a lot of great ideas you can go that you can go about doing, and if NRS can give us the ability to have like a good cop bad cop type of a scenario, yeah, I think Mortal Kombat is going to be a very good, promising game. Um, they would just need to, definitely fix a lot of things as far as the mechanics and all that. Make sure that it's good and fun, but other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think there's really much of anything with MK Shallow Monks you need to fix. I mean, give us all the game modes. I mean, give us a good competitive versus mode. Give us competitive co-op mode where you can like go about your way and be competitive online. Give us a really good story mode where we can like make our own decisions with a good ending or a bad ending depending on what character that you use. And then give us like a survival mode. That's one thing that the game definitely should have done a little bit better. If we had a survival mode, which MK Shallow Monks did have a shirt. Hold on, let me pause. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, based off of what I was stating, like Mortal Kombat did have a survival mode in this game for Shallow Monks, and the thing about it was that Shallow Monks survival mode, you have to basically complete certain challenges to kind of unlock the survival mode unlock the survival mode to actually give you access to play it. You had to get like certain weapons out of like the foundry, and then once you were able to get like the certain specialized weapon, then you'll be able to kind of go about doing what you wanted to do. So that would have been pretty cool. If you could just have like a mode of its own and just make it I don't know, just make it interesting, if you know what I'm saying. So I just think like that's just how I would go about doing it. So I mean, I don't know, I just think that's what I would do. um Give us survival mode, give us missions where we can do like competitive story mode missions, make some extra missions, you know what I'm saying? And I'd say give us other modes, like maybe give us motor combat, give us chess combat, give us, I don't know, maybe, ugh, I don't even know. Like, I mean, there's really nothing else you could really give other than just having a good fighting modes. But I think survival's pretty good. Co-op missions are pretty good. Let's see. Um, give us a tournament mode. I've already said that. And I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you don't really have much of anything left in the game, so I mean, that's pretty much like sealed and delivered to kind of give us a good game. So, I mean, that's just how I see it. I mean, if anybody has any other good ideas, you guys can let me know in the comments. So, overall, I mean, definitely give us, customization with our characters. Like, give us more skins, make this game more fun so we can like use our character in a more flashy manner. So therefore, we could use like use those skins online to play competitive. I don't know, have like good competitive Sub-Zero skins, Scorpion skins, and like these skins are just unlocked by like leveling up your character or just leveling up in the game online if you're playing like competitive ranked or competitive versus. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. I pretty much hashed out what I wanted to say about MK. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and let me know what you guys think. And also, definitely go check out this YouTuber, Relax Dirk. He's a pretty good YouTuber. I like watching him a lot. So hopefully he can definitely drop his modded version of MK Shaolin, because he did make some mention to it on his YouTube channel. So yeah, definitely go check him out. He's a fun YouTuber. I like watching him a lot, and I like watching his gameplay, as his gameplay is really fun and very refreshing. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, until we meet again. Alright, see you later, guys. Bye.